Hello and welcome to episode 32 of the Championship Manager Lockdown Challenge here, of course, on Championship Manager 1997-1998. And as you can see, we're on the 15th of July 2002. We've literally just finished the World Cup and we're going to do our usual sort of end of season, look around the alternative timeline, look around the leagues, look around the world, that sort of stuff. If you are new here, please drop a like down below, drop a sub to the channel, all that lovely stuff. And let's sort of crack on. So obviously last time out we live played the World Cup from start to finish, apart from those first couple of games that the game skipped over, unfortunately. We gave a good account of ourselves with Northern Ireland. We took them to the last 16 before we were sort of routinely, expectedly beaten by the Netherlands, Holland. Bit of a masterclass from them in the end. Obviously we need to look at sort of the challenge. Sort of going ahead. In fact, I do need to quickly just open the challenges so I've got them to refer to. I'll do that in a sec. Should we have a look at the World Cup first, and then I'll go back and do that. I'll pause and do that. So I did ask you in the last episode, put your bets down below who you think is going to win the World Cup. I will try and do a cut here if I can, so I can skip back to the quarterfinal stage and see who sort of went through, and then look at the semis, that sort of stuff. But if I do forget, then you'll see who won it straight away. Okay, so here we are. That's at the second phase. I did manage to remember to go, and hopefully I've left enough of a silent bit in the middle so I know to cut it out on the editing. I did some editing yesterday and I whizzed through them, so I probably left some stuff in there that probably didn't need to be left in them. But apart from the live World Cup one, because that was just a pure, just slap the file on and render it basically. But so we get to the quarterfinals. Germany would play Spain, losing 2-1. Goals from Alfonso there, still at Barcelona, and this Rath guy he did quite well in the World Cup. He got, every time I've seen him do a Germany game, he scored a lot of goals. Didn't do much for PSG. I wonder whether they're playing him as a defender or a midfielder, but Germany are definitely playing him as a striker, and he's doing the job for them. But PSG probably have so many other sort of strikers to choose from. It's probably not that much of a contest really to have him playing further back. But you'd expect him to still maybe chip in with a couple of goals, even from midfield. Italy beat the Czech Republic 1-0. So Italy had a bit of a struggle through, I think, and then the Czech Republic were a bit poor in the groups, but Babel getting sent off on 13 minutes didn't help their cause in the slightest. It went to extra time, in fact. Filippo Inzaghi in the 105th minute. He's on a free transfer, so he could be someone. In fact, Juventus have freed him, and they're interested in him. We're going to add him. Oh, we can't do the shortlist, but we'll have a look at free transfers when we do move our job. We'll talk about that later on when we review the last season challenge and we look at this season challenge. Then we've got France beat Holland, so the team that beat us lose to France. We would have had France in the next leg, so in the next round, so it wouldn't have been any easier. Sabri Lamucci for Barcelona there, grabbing the goals, 2-0. I assume in normal time, yeah, it was. Not the very best of attendances, is it? But 2-0, so not too bad. And then Norway actually overcoming Brazil. Obviously, they lost Ronaldo to injury, which is never a good sign for Brazil. But goals from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and it looks like an own goal in there. Gralak, he's Brazilian apparently. Paulo Sergio makes sense, but Gralak, I mean, he's a real player. I'm not sure I'm familiar with him, to be honest. He's at Bordeaux. Pretty good average ratings over the course of his sort of time in the game, but own goal in the quarterfinal would see Brazil go out. But I mean, Solskjaer had already scored, so how did they fare? Yeah, they weren't at the races really. It wasn't the best, most exciting game by the looks of it, but anyway. And then we go on to the semi-finals. Italy would play Spain. Spain being the winners, and I do know who won the World Cup, and I've completely forgotten. So it's actually going to be a little bit of a surprise, even though I just looked back at it, flicking through it, completely forgot. Sánchez Fernando's still at Real Madrid. Oh, he's at Real Madrid. Sorry, not still at. It's because I've seen his name when we played them in that last episode. I do remember silly things and little things, but important things I tend to forget. And the golfer, Sergio Ballesteros, defender for Liverpool, apparently. Starts at Tenerife, goes to Valladolid. Now he's at Liverpool. Quite good, to be fair. He scores the goals. And for Italy, it was Christian Vieri, still at Atletico Madrid, still banging the goals in for them. Maldini on the bench, perhaps was he, possibly coming back from an injury. I mean, he's at Liverpool, that's a bit of an injury itself back in these days. And there's a few players in there you wouldn't expect. I mean, he's at AC Milan now, Vieri, but he's not the best. There's a few names in there that you'd think maybe there's some better options, but Conte's in there. Is he player manager? Isn't he the player manager? No, it's Amor, isn't it? Amor, not... I keep getting them two mixed up for some reason, because I know Conte obviously is a real manager in real life. I keep getting them mixed up. The second semi-final would be Norway versus France, which France win on penalties. Thierry Henry grabbing a goal. See, there you go, another PSG striker, Thierry Henry. And then Tommy Svindal Larsen's in there. He's grabbing the goal. And certainly someone we'd be looking at Monaco to snap up, but I don't think we're going to have the money to do it. I need to remember before we change manager actually is to take a snapshot of my shortlist so I can transfer them over, because I'm probably going to have to create a new manager. But again, we'll talk about that a bit later. But yeah, goals there. So who scored? Was there an own goal? Oh no, it was 1-1 in penalties. Leon Hardson missed the important goals. Svindal Larsen getting his. Solskjaer. Aga Jr., not aware of him. Don't know who he is. Okay. But France, what's that, 5 out of 5? Yeah, Lamouchi, Henri, Zidane. Lilian Martin. I thought it was going to be Corentin Martin, but I think that's Martins, isn't it? And Maurice at Rangers. Okay. 375k now, worth 9 million. So that means it's a France-Spain final. Last chance to get your bets in. Who wins? France-Spain. I don't think that's a final that I recall happening. Spain have been in a few finals. France have been in a few finals, but I don't think they've ever faced each other in any competitions. Obviously, in the last sort of 20 years, I'm thinking. Before that, in the 80s, 70s, all that, who knows? I don't remember, but I wasn't born, let alone remember. So third, fourth playoff, Norway actually beat Italy 2-1. Svindal Larsen again with the goals, and Jan Ivar Jakobsen, 36-year-old, grabbing the goals, and Del Vecchio for Italy. I'm guessing they rotated a few in by the looks of it, possibly. Vieri certainly wasn't playing, didn't start. Del Piero was up there. Are they playing like a 4-3-3? I'm not too sure. Let's have a look. Yeah, they are 4-3-3. I know there's a bit of a Twitter discussion going on at the moment about trying to get a 4-3-3 working. I've been watching. I don't know if this is one that's been looked at, but you know, there you go. Give that a try. See if that works. Passing style on that as well. I mean, obviously it didn't work too well because they lost to Norway, but you know, maybe with some different personnel. I know the 4-3-3 they're trying to work is to try and get the FL and the FR players working. I had one working, but I'm trying to think. I don't think they were playing in that role. I think I had them playing in a different role. I had a Scotland save where, and I think I was Aberdeen, and there was a player who was a forward, right, left, and he was absolutely... I've tried to find him. I can't remember his name. I've tried to find him so many times. Probably not as good every time, but he was absolutely amazing for Scotland and for Aberdeen. And yeah, but I don't think he was playing out in those wide. I think he was playing as a striker or behind the strikers or something, or on the wing, maybe normal wing, rather than right up top in the FLFR spot. So that brings us to the final. 0-0. France win on penalties. They do seem to like penalties in this World Cup. They've been quite successful. So who missed? So it went to sudden death. Lamouchi actually missed for France, but as did Carreras at Real Madrid. But then Legwinski scored his. Different scorers. So they've got Yarez scoring. They've got Maurice score. He was the same. Martin was the same. But Jetu took one. Lamouchi did score in the last one, but he missed this time. And Legwinski. But Sergio for Barcelona missing this occasion. For Spain, seeing France win the World Cup. So we don't have player tables, I don't think. Not for the... Oh, look at that. In international goals, in international competitions, Darren Fitzgerald of Northern Ireland is the top goal scorer across the, beating Ronaldo, Batistuta, Solskjaer, Jensen, Afonso, Stanic. Paul McVeigh's in 8th. Inzaghi, De Boer, Axel Dow, Sukur. Some great players in there, and we've got 2 of them. Top one is Darren Fitzgerald. Obviously, wasn't enough to... But none of those were players that won the World Cup. No French players in there. They have their goals a bit more evenly distributed, obviously. Alfonso for Spain did quite well as well. But yeah, Fitzgerald had a barnstorming season, and I don't know whether that will relate to him picking up a move somewhere along the lines. I'm not too sure. But he scored almost as many goals in the last year for Northern Ireland as he has done for Rangers and loans across his whole career since 96-97. That is absolutely insane. What's his overall record for it? So he's actually 20 and 21 caps now. I think he was 0-5 or something when I started the job. So great assistance from him in achieving the goals we achieved. So assists, have we got any in there? We've got Paul McVeigh second. We've got, that would be it. France, any in there? No. David Connolly for Ireland is in there. Strange. Amoruso for Italy. There's a few. You can have a quick look. I'm not going to click them all. Kluivert is the top. So that's that. Let's have a quick look around the leagues now. We've seen Spain, obviously, so we don't need to look at Spain. Let's have a look at the Champions League. I think we mentioned it in one of the previous episodes because we saw Man United, we saw Barcelona losing, and it was potentially in our last game after they'd beaten us, but they were already out of the league. They were already out of the league table, I think, by that point, so it didn't matter. But Lee Taylor in goal for Man United, don't know who he is. Starts at Carlisle, apparently, goes on to Norwich, Chelsea, and then on to Man United. Martin Jetu, a few names we've seen through this World Cup. Peter Nielsen's in there. Bit of an ageing team, it's starting to look like now. 31, 30. I mean, he's only 27 now still, but 32. They've got Ronaldo in there, got Scalzi in there still. Kenny Baker, whoever he is, young goalkeeper. I'm assuming a regen, he is. Borgstrand, don't know him. Charlie Miller from Rangers. Jimmy Aitchison, young, I'm guessing a regen again. Yeah, he is. Starts at Blackpool in the regen world. But obviously we know Barcelona quite well, but they lost this game. Probably a draw looked about the right result in there. Obviously it has to go to penalties or something. But yeah, Man United winning the Champions League this season. If we look at competition history, Barcelona have been there or thereabouts a lot. PSG have been there or thereabouts a lot. Yeah, so slightly different feel for the final this year. Cup Winners' Cup, we got last results. So AGF of Denmark, I believe. Let's click a few players. Sweden. No, I think it's Denmark. I'm pretty sure it's Denmark. Isaias, is he the one from Coventry? No idea. Free transfer. But they've managed to get to the final. Is that Joe Tessum who plays for Southampton? Not in this world he doesn't, but he does in real life. So I'm trying to see if there's anyone else we recognise, because there could be a few of those sorts of players in there. Phil Strip, I feel like I recognise. But from Luton, I do vaguely remember that. I can't remember how or why. Another PS1 game or something, possibly Player Manager, something like that. But in this game, Nonce would get the better of them on penalties. Gorvanak, don't know him. And Yavari, he's the one that starts at PSG or Barca, isn't he? Barca. He's a bit hit and miss for his career, but they signed for Nonce now, and he's come good this year for them. They've got a good player on their hands there. If they can build on that, I don't think they've done much in the league, but obviously Cup Winners' Cup isn't for the creme de la creme of the leagues. I guess it's not the next level, isn't it? But 2-2 there on penalties. We didn't look at the penalties, did we? Yavari actually missed the penalty, but it wasn't enough to worry. Last scored, but it wasn't enough for them to lift the trophy. Let's have a look at UEFA Cup last results. So, wow, All Madrid final, played in Tel Aviv. Atletico Madrid coming out on top over Real Madrid this time. So Real Madrid really coming away with nothing again this season. Probably expecting the manager to get sacked, I think. We've got Patrick Vieira getting the winning goal. Clicked done in by accident. They absolutely battered them. 1-0 was flattering on Real Madrid, really. 58 minutes, Patrick Vieira. Great. Okay, Super Cup this year was won by Barcelona beating Middlesbrough. Okay, we'll have a look at the league table in a minute, but I just want to see where they finished. But 3-0, and it was the second leg that actually had the goals in it. So Rivaldo with 2 and Lardan with 1. Ben Thatcher's in there for Middlesbrough. They had a red card as well, didn't help. But yeah, 3-0, job done really. Who's won that over the last couple of years? A big French contingent sandwiched by Barcelona, basically. Juventus have been in there as well. Marseille, a lot of similar teams appearing. Super Cup World Club. Did I just see Arsenal in the Super Cup then? Did it go back that far? Milan versus Arsenal. Oh yeah, it was after we won in 94. Yeah, it's gone back. I didn't realise it went back to 95. It's just then just stops abruptly at 95. Was that the first time it ever existed? I don't think it was. But yeah, I don't remember us losing to Milan. Obviously we would have done, and probably did, but I don't remember that game. I remember us obviously beating Parma in the UEFA Cup final. And obviously Zaragoza in it the following year against Ajax. Ajax obviously 95 team winning Champions League, and Zaragoza beating Arsenal in the final with Naeem from the halfway line. Twat. Last results in the World Club Cup would be Barcelona beating Sao Paulo 1-0. Sonny Anderson on a free transfer. Unbelievable. Right, now bearing in mind Monaco, we've got no money. If we can snap up some of these frees, I might have to actually, we'll talk about that in a minute, but we might have to change my plans with Monaco a little bit. I was going to do something, but I might have to just add them. I don't think it's going to, what I'm hoping is going to happen is going to happen. So that's all the European competitions. If you have a quick look at goal scorers, probably won't be too much to say because Sociedad Danny, most of his goals come against us. Obviously not in Europe, but Ossa Olsen, Ferroese striker, Dougie Friedman for Arsenal, banging in the goals, 10 in 5. crazy. Robert was too many consonants in there for my liking. Not enough vowels. Any others? No, a few AAB players. I think that's Aalborg, isn't it? I think. So that's Europe anyway. Let's have a look at England. Obviously, we know who won the FA Cup because we saw that pop up with Fulham winning it during the World Cup games, possibly. They got Harold Tetzner. We signed him. Big bulk. I mean, he's new. Sturgis. I think he's new. I don't think we signed him. Heinstrom, Curtis is still there. Danny Murphy. Okay. Some strange signings, but it's kind of working, I guess. David Moore. I mean, the team is starting to now take its own kind of shape. He's had a good season for Fulham, signing from Crystal Palace. Notman's still there. Lachlan Nevland not having the best of times under... You'd expect him to do quite good under Big Jack with the old direct, industrial football, that sort of stuff. Dario Simic getting the goal for them. I think he starts at he starts at FC Croatia. I thought he was at... Did he play for Milan? Or Inter Milan, maybe? I think he did in real life play for one of the Milans. I think in 0102 CM, he's at Inter Milan, I think. Ain't Inter or AC? No, it might be AC, actually. In fact, I thought he started at AC on this game. He doesn't seem to be there. I thought he did, unless I just remember signing him for AC or something. I don't know. But Fulham win the FA Cup. The League Cup would be won by Tottenham, beating Middlesbrough in the final. Caputi, yeah, Roy Delap, okay. Jon O'Connor, good signing. I think we tried to get him at Fulham a few times, didn't want to come. Santi for Middlesbrough, and Justin Hartfield, I'm assuming, is a regen. Looks like it. Don't know who of, but he's had a few money moves in his time. But Tottenham unfortunately win a cup. But it's the League Cup, who cares? Division 3 league table, so Oldham, Kettering and Watford. Watford obviously suffered a couple of relegations because I think they start in Division 1, maybe Division 2 in this game. They're down in Division 3 now, but they're going to bounce back up. Altrincham and Kettering are both teams that have recently, I think, come into the game like through the promotion thing, so they're now getting promoted again. Who's going down? Rotherham. Okay, quite easily in the end. Bit of a whimper, not a full team there. And I think Bishop Auckland are the team that are coming up because I keep getting offered their job, and obviously I'm turning it down. But Division 2, Millwall win the league, Burnley get promoted, and Darlington get promoted. We've got a few other teams that have had a couple of relegations down here. So we've got Barnsley down here, Wolves are down here. We've got West Brom are still hanging around, Charlton. Who else now? Northampton, Cardiff, Hull and Lincoln go down. And then in Division 1, we've got Sunderland are getting promoted as champions, Bolton and then Peterborough going up as well. Norwich, Crystal Palace, Chelsea are still down there. QPR, Wimbledon, Stoke have survived. I think they got promoted. They must have fairly recently survived. Mansfield are up there and staying up. Going down is Bradford, Sheffield United and Carlisle. Okay, I don't know who's come up and who's not of them, but there's a few big names kind of in there. Bradford were kind of in about 97-98 were on the cusp, I think, maybe of getting to the Premier League. Maybe it was even 97-98 they did get to the Premier League, because I know the subsequent years I was at sort of sixth form and I know that they were there, and I think they survived when Wimbledon went down. Obviously being from around that area and having a few friends who were Wimbledon season ticket holders, just before the move to Milton Keynes, all that sort of stuff, it was a torrid time. Didn't like Bradford very much. Had a bit of a soft spot for Wimbledon. I was bought a Wimbledon scarf. It was one of my first things as a kid. Obviously didn't end up growing up supporting Wimbledon. It's just because they were literally, I could go out the back of my house and literally spit practically at Plough Lane. It was so close. It's a Plough Lane, but obviously a lot of the time when I was growing up watching football, they weren't playing there. I couldn't go down and watch them. They were in Palace by then. Selhurst Park. Premier Division, Man United, surprise, surprise, win the league, as bloody always. 5 points clear of Tottenham, who seems to be doing quite well. Fulham finished 5th. Obviously, we know what they've won the FA Cup. 18 million in the bank, some good players. They've still got a good squad there. Heidenstrom will probably be retiring this year. He is transfer listed. We'll try and keep an eye out for his regen. I have run the regen generator, so we'll have a look at that when the update takes place. We've got Lizarazu is there. I mean, they've bought some good players in. They have, he's from Real Madrid, I think. Porto, right? Okay. Stensas they're trying to list. Curtis is in there. Key players, Secretario. So Sigurdsson isn't anymore. It's Tetzner, Secretario, and Lizarazu. Still a lot of the players we had there. Where is Tomlinson? Can we see transfers? So Secretario was for free. Alessio from Espanyol was 2.8 million. Milligan from Wimbledon. Is that 2 right backs? I think they signed 2 right backs. Yeah. Lizarazu, 2 left backs as well. Roscoe, goalkeeper. Don't know who he is. I'm assuming he's a regen. Looks like it. We've got Sam Greenacre. I think he plays for Mansfield at some point, or Bristol Rovers. Did he play for... Is it the same Greenacre played for Man City and Mansfield? It might not be the same one. Doesn't look very good. And David Moore from Preston. Out would be Martin Loughlin to Man United. Okay. Did I see him at Man United or Fulham earlier? Maybe that's just recently happened. Yeah, that's just recently happened. Okay. Alan Wright to Peterborough. That's a left back out. Chris Laketti, 30 years old now. He's been sold. Done well at Watford. Graham Tomlinson goes to Peterborough and then Aston Villa. I'm assuming there's a big club release clause involved in there somewhere. But he's now at Villa. Jeff Brazier goes to Southend on loan. He's still there. Alex Martin goes to Notts County. Did okay for... he's actually now at West Ham. So it looks like another kind of big club release clause triggered and West Ham take him on. Seeing a lot of that happening. Another loan there for Jeff Wesley. I don't think we know... He was nothing to do with us, I don't think. Doesn't look like it. They've sold him. Rufus Brevitt's on a free. Still on a free. And Chris Coleman goes to Leicester for... 350k. We had some big money coming in from him at one point, but they're doing quite well. They're plodding along. They're not sort of challenging the top spots, but what are they, about 13 points shy of it really? But they're getting potential European spots, finishing above some big teams. Arsenal below them there. Who's going down? West Ham, Nottingham Forest, and Southampton. West Ham, Southampton. Perennial relegation fodder in this game, really, let's be honest. Middlesbrough have been in some European competitions recently, but they're down in 14th this season, maybe struggling with the fixture congestion, who knows. But that's England. Let's have a look at France, because this is where we're going next. Let's just get that out of the way. Last results, Marseille lose to Saint Etienne in the Coupe de France. They're in the second division and managed to beat Marseille, who have recently won the Champions League. So it went to penalties. Let's have a look. And Freddie Canute misses for Marseille. So that's a big shock there in France. I don't know if they're getting promoted. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Saint Etienne. Coupe de Ligue, Monaco beat Marseille. I knew this was coming up. Monaco, we'll have a look at it in a minute, because like I say, we know it forms part of it. I'm trying to say stuff and I'm trying to not. I'm trying to style it out a little bit. League table, Metz, Angers and Nancy go up. No sign of Saint Etienne. They're 7th, way back down. I mean, it's only about 5 points in the end from that 3rd place, but yeah, not going to be promoted, but they will win a cup. Laval, I've seen a few of those jobs come up as well. Cannes, it's a shame to see go down, because they're quite a club I like to keep an eye on. I think a few Arsenal players, I think Clichy come from there, and I think there was someone else as well. Go to the Premier League, or Liga, we've got Bordeaux winning the title, Auxerre 2nd, Monaco 3rd, Marseille and PSG 4th and 5th. PSG real fall from grace from them a little bit there. Bordeaux, the big team in France at the moment, got some good players. They had Chiesa in there, only 2 million to spend. Enrico Chiesa's in there, 1.8 million, getting on a bit now. Londro's in there, signed him early doors really. Di Maria, I think, was from Parma. Well, he did play for Parma, but he's moved on since. We've got is that William Prunier? Wow, okay. Surprised he's still going. I don't remember him going into 2002 in real life. Ricardinho, bit average for him. Lilian Loslans, he can be good if you get the right. I mean, he's not had the best season, but they've done well. But he had a good season last season. Grenet, I think I vaguely remember him in real life. I'm not too sure why. Is he Italian? Oh, he's French. No, okay. There's not too many I recognise there. Auxerre doing well to come second. We know they've got that Compan who's very good. But let's have a look at Monaco. So obviously we know, I've given it away a little bit, we are managing Monaco, and I think the part of the challenge now is 3 seasons to do something. Right, so I'm toying with the fact that I might just play through the seasons and do like a review of what we've done, do like some short snappy episodes. I'm not too sure, just to wind up this challenge, or I might play through them. If we do a lot of the challenges in the first season, which looking at that squad I don't think we're going to be able to do, then we may just, I don't know. I haven't really thought it through yet. I need to see what the challenge is exactly. I haven't looked at it completely. 3 left backs, 1 right back, 3 goalkeepers, 1 centre back, 1 other who can potentially play centre back. A lot of rebuilding needed in this team. We have got Le Professeur Arsene Wenger to wait, so we're waiting. We're going to do the update into the new season. That was the plan, and see if he retires, and we can just apply for the job. And if we don't get it, obviously we have to have a new manager and retire all the others. If not, I'm thinking, because there's all those players on free transfers, I don't want to risk missing them, because we've got, you'll see why in a moment. Sorry about that, we just had a delivery. I saw them walking up the path. So yeah, we're going to wait, try and get some of those free transfers, because we don't want to risk them going to other clubs before we have a chance. Yeah, and this is why. We're in debt. Okay, it's not actually that bad. It's, what's that? My eyes can't even focus on that. I think it's about 200-300 in the red. But you can see the capacity of the stadium is tiny. They don't make any money. That I know that is because they recently sold someone. They recently sold, yeah, I think it's Alu I saw, 3.3. They've also sold Lesses for 2.5 million. They're still in debt. John Collins has gone on a free transfer. Laurent Leroy's gone to Auxerre, I assume for a fee. Yeah, Thierry obviously went to PSG. Algerino's left. Lefebvre, he's gone to Auxerre. That's just recently happened, I think, or he's signed last season, hasn't played. We've got Sebastian Frey as a goalkeeper, so that's pretty good. That's something to build on, and I think we've still got Barthez and Frey. I mean, that's two pretty good goalkeepers, let's be honest. Serge Blanc, another left back, great. Ulrich, centre midfielder, he looks pretty decent, to be fair. And Alan Nees, another goalkeeper, he's another young goalkeeper. So yeah, the transfer dealings and squad building of Monaco has not been great, but we have got, oh no, we've got another defender there. Okay, was I looking at something completely wrong? Did he fade out? I didn't see Diawara last time. I saw Andre. He's very young. Okay, Diawara, yeah, he's not got the best tackling, in all honesty. We'll try and move some players on that we're not going to use, like Bernard Beers. He's got a good rating, but we're probably not going to use him. We've got Arthur Newman in there. He's out for a month. He's a bit old now. Forward left, he's got some pace on him. He's got some pace on him. He's done okay, but that's at Amiens. That's lower down. We've got Underam. We're hoping he doesn't retire. We're hoping we can get one more season out of him, although his pace is completely shot. But he's still coming out with the numbers. We've got Osland up there. Okay, he's quite good. Jean-Claude Darcheville, Nottingham Forest failure, of course. And we've got Victor Pebber still there as well. We've got a few of these tied down for a few years. So we'll have to see what we've got to play with. Let's have a look at... we've looked at Fulham. Let's have a look at the challenge. So I need to pause just to bring my challenge file up. Bear with me one moment. Okay, so I'm going to bring the chalkboard up now. It's going to be completed with what we've done for Season 5. So obviously we got 125 points for qualifying for the World Cup. That's quite a good starting point, really. We got 70 points for World Cup group points. Obviously we got 7 points in that group times by 10, and we got 60 points for not getting knocked out in the last 16. We did win the top division in Spain, so that's 100 points. I didn't realise that was even part of it this season. We got a 35 goal difference, plus 35 goal difference. We had 35 on for that. And our biggest range win was 6. In fact, you know what? I'll go and show you what I'm talking about. So if we go to World Cup group tables, we got 7 points. We got to the last 16. If we go to Salamanca, we go to Premier Division. You can do the maths yourself, but there's 35 goals in the difference there. And then with results, we were looking at, I think there's a 6 goal swing to give us the, which one was it? Where was the game? I can't remember which game it was. There was like a big 6 goal swing or something. Here we go. I'm assuming European games count, but we beat Auxerre 7-1. It could have been a bit better if they didn't score that stupid consolation goal. Soren Anderson there. He's on a free transfer. Wow, some big names on a free transfers. Not the best players, but players we can certainly work with while we get our money sorted and try and get some cheap wages in, maybe, or players that we can maybe try and sell down the line. But yeah, that's what we're with. So that's how we did. So the total was, I didn't add that up. It is written on the screen right now. I think it's 400 and something off the top of my head. But it's on that chalkboard already. I haven't written it down on my phone in my notes, but the editor me will be putting that on that chalkboard for you to see. So that's where we are. And then we obviously missed out on signing John Curtis. We missed out on a few other things as well, I think. No, maybe that was about it. Obviously, points, we missed out on goal difference points and finishing further in the European Championships, but you know, whatever. So now I'm going to pop up Season 6 challenge, and it kind of encompasses 7 and 8 as well. I think we'll read through it. So Anyone fancy Monaco is the title of this season, basically. Currently, we've got Arsene Wenger manager. He did well in the league. He finished third. He did okay. And they won the Cups, but they are obviously in debt, and they're going to get into worse debt. As Dave says, by this point in the game, Monaco are usually starting to the great decline. They have a tiny stadium, which doesn't get expanded. Players on huge salaries, so they've missed out on that Champions League cash, which it looks like they may have done in the last few years. They descend to mid-table. They haven't quite done that yet, but that's Arsene Wenger, top 4 trophy every year. So it's up to us to stop that. I can resign from Northern Ireland and my current club job, add myself in as Monaco. Oh, but there is a 100-point bonus if we get offered it by September 1st. Now, ideally, we want it before that, but I'm hoping Wenger's going to retire. He does normally retire quite early in the game, I think, and it's, 4 or 5 years in now. So I'm hoping he's going to retire and that job comes available. I've got a maximum of 3 seasons to get points. So, yeah, we've got to win the Champions League, 200 points. I don't even know if we're going to be in it first season. Retaining it will double your points. To win Liga, you get 100 points every time you do it. If you retain it, you earn double. Again, so there's a lot of points to play for. Coupe de France is 50 points. Retaining it earns double. Probably not going to concentrate too much on the Cups with such a threadbare squad, certainly early on. The French League Cup is 50 points. Again, retaining it double. And the same, you can see European Cups, not the Champions League, the other competitions. We'll be in one of those, I think. I think we'll be in the UEFA Cup. Obviously, we don't want to retain it. We want to just push on. We want to try and push on for a Champions League second season if we can, assuming that's what we're going to be in first season. But it's going to be tough again with a threadbare squad. And then win a World Club Cup, Super Cup. It's going to be tough because we're going to have to win a Champions League sort of first, or Champions League or UEFA Cup in those first 2 seasons to get into either of those tournaments. Bonus, sign any individual squad below. We'll even include Gennaro, Monaco, who has snuck in there. 50 points maximum, 1 per season. Regions do not count. So there is a list of Monaco players. I've got it. I have got it. I'll try and put the pictures up on the screen here as well if I can, if I remember. But there are. You can go and check it out on Dave's blog. You can see the list of them. It's more of a snapshot than something I can maybe put in very easily. Needless to say, retaining them doesn't count, and don't release and re-sign for goodness sake. Okay, so you can't cheat. So to explain how the double thing works, here are some scenarios. Season win. Okay, that's examples. That's fine. And then so Monaco lads. So the ones we can look out for, we got Leonard, Underam, Speha, Barthez, Bernabia, Carno, Kristen Val, Demeco, Jetu, Dumar, Gouli, Thierry Henry, Fabien Lefebvre, Sylvain Leginski, Mabula Lukunku, Lilian Martin, Monaco, Lilian Martin, sorry, Christopher Pignol, Parato, goalkeeper, I think, Willy Sagnol, David Trezeguet, Gennaro, Monaco, Salvatore, Monaco, as well as a few Monaco players, Volta, Monaco. Okay, there's just players that you can use with Monaco's in the names. Ikpeba, Francisco Costa, John Collins, Salif Diao, Gibril Diawara, and Tony Silva. So when it says retaining them doesn't count, I assume that means retaining them. Does that mean signing them to a new contract for the second season, or does that mean if they're already in the squad they don't count? So what do we get? 50 points. So, I'll sign any of the squad and you get 50 points. So I don't have to sign. You don't get points per them, and only 1 per season. Okay, so that's fine. I don't know how many of them we'll be able to get with that money situation because it's probably unlikely. But I think that's going to end this episode here, I think. So we're going to, obviously after I'm done, I'm going to go forward and try and get the game sort of into the new update, see what happens with Arsene Wenger. Hopefully he retires, but either way I'll update on what's gone on that in the next episode, and we're going to crack on with season 6, 7 and 8, and I'll decide sort of in the meantime whether I'm going to do them as sort of either the usual layout of as I've been doing, sort of 5 or 6 episodes a season, or whether I'm going to blitz till the end of the season and do like a summary, or whether I'll do maybe like a couple of summaries, like a starting point, a midway and an end. I don't really know. I haven't decided yet. I have to see how my time goes and stuff like that. I've got some ideas for another challenge I want to do, but although I've just had Christmas technically as a break, it didn't feel like a break. So after I've finished this series, I do want to maybe have a little bit of a break, maybe try something else, play a different game, something like that, rather than jumping straight into another Championship Manager series. There is another lockdown series to do. It's a big old slog. They're big old slogs as well, but I may jump into that second one because there's some interesting parts of it that I do want to try out. But until next time, when we come back for season 6 with Monaco, I will see you next time. Take care. Goodbye.